Today's guest is empowered mother Racheal Koning, who is a happily married mum of 3 and the co-founder and co-owner of a busy whole food cafe in New South Wales, Australia called Heart and Soul Whole Food Cafe. Only 18 months ago, she was burnt out and desperate when she finally went to a homeopath for the very first time. Since then, she has become an empowered home prescriber using homeopathy in her home to help herself, her husband, and her children, and even making helpful remedy suggestions to her staff and the customers at her cafe. Rachael will be sharing some wonderful success stories today, and she is now also studying to become a homeopath herself. So the homeopath Rachael speaks about in this episode is the lovely Donna Sadzius, who is one of the very knowledgeable and lovely homeopaths on my team. Donna is still taking new bookings, and you can book a consultation with her at www.eugeniekruger.com. And if you're in the Clarence Valley in New South Wales and you would like to visit Rachael's beautiful whole food cafe, check out cafeheartandsoul.com.au for their address and gorgeous menu. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to the Homeopathy Hangout, where we discuss all things homeopathy from around the world. And now my mum and your host, Eugenie Kruger.
Hello, homies, and a very warm welcome to Homeopathy Hangouts. Today, we get to speak with the absolutely lovely Racheal Koning. Welcome, Racheal.
Hello.
And you're just nice and like local on the other side of Australia. It's very hard for me to say Koning because I know that your surname is actually Koning, which in Afrikaans, my native language, means king. So it's lovely to have you on today. Can you tell us a little bit about how you were first introduced to homeopathy?
I would say that I heard about it many years ago. A friend one night, I was really into vitamins, supplementing herbs, seeing the naturopath, and etc. And a beautiful friend, when we were young mums, showed me her kit. And I remember her saying, this is if you get a headache. But I really, sadly, I was very dismissive because I was on a journey of healing, having been really sick before. And I was on the right track for me at that stage. But I heard about it then. And then a few years later, there's been lots of little indications where I could have, I just wish I realised then that I would grab the sore throat spray from the local health food shop. If I get a little bit of a sore throat, I'd spray it. Miracles would go away. So I saw it then. And then a friend of mine, not so long ago, in the last 10 years or so, she had abnormal cells in her cervical region. Yes. And so twice she'd had, I just remember her telling me, twice she'd had them removed, or I think they burned them. And the third time she went to a homeopath and they never came back after that. After going, she said, I'm not doing that again. And so I heard about it then, and then not even 2 years ago now, I was coming through a lot of stress through 2020, etc. And I have deal with asthma, and I was a bit stressed. I was also very burnt out. And I thought, I remembered what my friend Rena had told me about with health. I'm going to look into homeopathy. So I started to research and I found a homeopath, and that was the beginning of the most amazing journey.
Oh, that's beautiful. And so it was really only a couple of years ago that you fully embraced homeopathy, but you have, I think, done enough, like for a decade's worth of using homeopathy, and now you're also studying homeopathy, which I'm super excited about. So maybe tell us about your asthma journey with the homeopath and where things are at now.
I'm coming through it. I'm so much better than I was initially when I first went to the homeopath. There was a time where I had a really pretty full-on acute flare last year. And normally you would go to the doctor, and unfortunately I'm still on medication, but everything will evolve and I'm still a lot better. But I would have to have, normally in the past I would have went and got steroids, oral steroid. And I thought, I don't want to suppress and push this down. I'm okay, I'm breathing on the live, I'm doing all right. And a beautiful homeopath named Donna, I reached out to her for help, and she, in 3 days, her prescription turned me around from, I would awake several times a night needing Ventolin, and it was 3 doses of phosphorus over 3 days, 1 dose a day, phosphorus 200, and I was sleeping through the night. I was able to lay flat again, and the anxiety melted away, and I was like, that's incredible. And now I'm in a really good place. I don't feel like really tight in the chest all the time. I still have little flares, but they're I'm getting better and better. Yeah.
And you're allowed to say her name if you think she wouldn't mind. Is it Donna Sadzius or is it different Donna?
Yeah, I can never pronounce her name.
Cool. Yeah, Donna.
The last name.
You know that Donna's on our team now, hey?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I saw that the other day. Yeah.
She is amazing. She's got about 20 years.
Wondering.
Yeah, she's got 20 years experience. She's an incredible mum.
Yes,
and I mean, she deserves an award just for raising 8 children.
Yeah.
I just get tired thinking about that.
Yeah. She turned me around in 3 days. That was my initial, I was desperate. I was getting more desperate. I was very close to having to go to the doctor, and it was amazing. I felt like a spun on a 20-cent piece. It was just amazing.
How long have you had asthma? Was it since a child or more asthma?
No, again, burnt out and a grief a few years ago. Obviously, it was a weak spot for me, and that's where it came. Yeah, that's where it showed up, was in asthma.
It's interesting because apparently the lungs in Chinese medicine is the organ of grief. Yeah, I
definitely believe that, because my beautiful mum, we got a really sad diagnosis for her. Yeah. And I I know now, obviously, had I been able to go and see a homeopath, it would have been a lot different. Now, like, my journey is to get my body weaned off
You will absolutely get there. And if there's a history of steroids, it can be so hard to actually clear that. So the fact, like, you've got to celebrate those small wins, the fact that you were able to turn it around in 3 days and not have to get those steroids. Well, it's actually not a small win. It's actually a huge win. And your body will just get stronger and your vital force will get stronger, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what other things have you used homeopathy for in your home?
Oh, my husband, my son, who's 10. I will just say, if it's okay, even when I first went to homeopathy, mentally, as we always say, is where the big difference was really quick, because I was really very stressed and burnt out. And then there was little things I thought, oh, that's better now. So I don't know if this grosses people out, but I had really sore big toes all the time. They were so sore I had to stick them out from under the blanket at night time. It seems like nothing, but it wasn't great. Yeah. And at night time to think, and I was also waking up through the night. I wasn't sleeping well. And one day I realised my toes aren't sore anymore, and they're just normal. They're never sore anymore. And I know women in my age bracket say things like that. And I guess it's years and years on our feet as well. But we had a really significant episode happen early in our journey. So I think it had been about 5 or 6 months into our homeopathic journey for I could say ours, because my husband's embraced it too and is fully supportive of me studying it. And he's not so bad now, but he has suffered severe vertigo. And when he would get these bouts, and vertigo is the cruelest thing, and when he would get these bouts of vertigo, like, he's 6'6", my hubby, he's a big, tall man, and it would be a case, he would get these bouts and he just comes on him, start coughing all of a sudden and uncontrollably sweat, everything dizzy, and he would just throw up and throw up. And so in the past, prior to knowing what we know, I would have to try and get him in the car somehow and get him to the hospital. And that would be my son, my big 6'7" son, would come around and help me get him in the car, and we'd get him up there, wheelchair in. He couldn't lift his head, profusely sweating, just horrendous. And we would go to the hospital and he would have the meds, and the meds, of course, though they offered relief, they would suppress it, and it would last for a good week to 2 weeks. It would settle, the vomiting would settle, but of course, because it's suppressed, it's held there. And he would be suffering for at least a week or two. Anyway, back in a few months into the journey, all of a sudden at midnight, about 12:30, he starts sweating and made it into our ensuite, over our base, and I slid a chair under him, and he was vomiting. It was actually the worst I'd seen him. It was violent. He couldn't lift his head. He had it hanging over the base. And I was like, what do you want to do? Trying to speak clear. I'm going to have to, will I call an ambulance? And he's trying to communicate, no ambulance, as much as he couldn't even really talk, to be honest. And so I knew about the homeopathy 247 line, and I've used that a couple of times now. And so I'm like, do you want me to try homeopathy? And I said, ambulance? Well, because something had to happen here. If he said no to homeopathy, I had to have called an ambulance. And he said, yeah, try that. And she could hear him. I got a beautiful Mitzi, her name is, beautiful English homeopath, because it was daytime there. And she was talking me through thank goodness I've been collecting remedies. So I've been new enough at that point that I was always collecting remedies. So I had the remedy I needed for him. Am I allowed to say the remedy?
Yeah.
I know it's not the same for everyone. It doesn't mean, no, this one was Nux vomica.
Oh, Nux vomica.
And I'm told that's very tricky. She prescribed that under incredible circumstances.
Yeah.
It was high energy. Everything was, it was I was very upset and worried about him. He couldn't lift his head. He was just, she could hear him obviously I had Zoom. She could see him vomiting. I learnt then, put the pilules in water. I had to mix them, stir as you do, and then get up underneath his head and try and get it. And I think it would just touch his tongue. The first time it touched his tongue, he straight away just threw up again. And I think that was a good sign. I've learned since then. And he was throwing up, but it was like, it was just like immediately. And then I had to dose him every 15 minutes. And that's what stir. And I said to her, how do I know? Again, it's high energy. How do I know? When do I stop? What do I do? She goes, he'll want to go to sleep. And anyway, it took 4 doses. I gently got him over. We got him over back into our bed. 4 doses. That's phenomenal. Every 15 minutes after. By the point that I guess I got to her, we were up to around 2 hours. By the time he went to bed, it was 3:30. So when I say start at 12:30, that's not when I called them. We were like in the thick of it by that stage. I got him back into bed and he was out of action the next day, of course. And then usually in the past, and like we knew he wasn't having a heart attack or anything else because we were familiar with this. So that fear wasn't there. Or concern with, normally he's a week or 2 weeks in the past that he would be out of action. This was a Wednesday through the night, Wednesday night. He was out of action Thursday. He was driving the car by Friday afternoon.
Wow.
And that was everything for us. It was just incredible to see him back on his feet like that. It was amazing. And there's been so many. But
that is incredible. Was he a bit skeptical of homeopathy before that, or was he already embracing it at that stage?
My husband is a beautiful, supportive man, and we're always on the same page with most things. Not on board like me, no, of course, but definitely there's something in this. We already believe in the alternative, and actually he would have been because I had made such significant he felt he was getting his wife back. So like I'd made such significant process in those few months myself, so...
What an incredible story for him. And actually, I have got a little client who has cyclical vomiting syndrome. So she gets it several times a year. And when it happens, it's just, she can't eat anything at all, just vomits continuously for days on end. And always, she's about 10. Since she was a little bubby, it was actually after her first vaccines that this started. And so several times a year, she's hospitalized because she can't eat. So they have to give her IV fluids. And somebody in my Facebook group, when this mum posted, somebody else said, try Nux vomica. And the mum used Nux vomica, and it was first time ever in this child's life. She didn't have to be hospitalized for this.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And so that was incredible. And we've since worked with her with some other remedies as well, just to work on a little bit of a deeper level.
Yeah.
And just incredible. It's just beautiful seeing this little girl blossom. And do you know, it's very empowering for the family when you have something like this that the medical profession doesn't have an answer for. They're not able to cure this. They're able to suppress the symptoms, but they're not able to cure it in that person. It's very stressful when you don't know when this thing is going to come on. It can affect organizing holidays or anything like that. Having to make sure that you're close to hospitals in case you need to go, maybe not taking an overseas trip because you don't know if there'll be proper medical facilities. It just really impacts your whole life. And if we can give you something safe that you can empower yourself for when this happens, why wouldn't you? That's always what I say. You know, if you end up needing to go to hospital in the end anyway, that's okay. That's what it's there for. But if you can use something in the meantime, why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Exactly. For a long time, we've always been first resort is all the alternatives. Last resort is medical, even before homeopathy.
Can I do a quick shout out to Homeopathy 24/7 that you've just mentioned as well? It is started by Mary Greensmith, who has got this wonderful team of homeopaths that are all around the world. So it doesn't matter what time of the day it is or what time zone you're in, there's always a homeopath that you can call for an acute consultation. So it's a wonderful service that she started up. Very excited about that.
Yeah. For sure.
So talk to me about what other sort of things, because I know you've told me about a myriad of things that homeopathy has helped you with. So just go for it. Share your heart out.
Oh, I love to tell the story. I'll tell more about our 10-year-old Orlando. At Christmas time last year, we got ourselves a swim spa for Christmas, and little light children, I just kept saying, don't go under the water while the jets are on. It's big. It's a little swim spa. It's not a tiny spa. And I'm like, don't go under the water while the jets are on. Don't go under the water while the jets are on. What did he keep doing? Going under the water while the jets were on. So what did he end up with? An ear infection. And I was trying to treat it myself just through the week, thinking we'll get on top of this. And I got some advice and everything, but just didn't get on top of it. And so we got to the point, and this is me coming, he stayed home with Dad, and then I'm going to work and coming home and just working around all of that. And with all of a sudden us mums go, oh no, this is really, it's escalated and I need to really act now. So what I did was I got into an after an hours appointment with a doctor. My whole thing was going to be go back to my homeopath, Donna, and he's homeopath. But I thought I'll get these because it was Friday. It was Friday afternoon. So we got an appointment and the doctor looked in his ear and said, oh, that's really terrible. I'll give you a repeat script. It's probably not going to go with just one. And I'll give you steroid eardrops. Now, I don't want to do that, but I've got it if I need it. Then I'm in touch with Donna and we went into action. Also, I've learned so much from Sue Mayer's podcast and your podcast.
Oh, I love Sue Mayer's podcast.
I listen to her ear one. I'm a member of her little groups that she does. And so I've got extra training notes. And so I had my notes out. But I'm not a homeopath. I'm a home prescriber. This needed the beautiful experience of a homeopath, especially a mum homeopath.
Paula Brown calls it a homeopath.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, so Donna guided me. So as more than me, it's all about the dosage. It's not just the remedy. It's how we dose it and what potency, etc. So Donna guided me. And of course, the two remedies that she guided me with were Hepasulf and Silica. So we dosed a night and a day, I think it was, that night, Friday night with Hepasulf. And I'm reading my notes from Sue Mayer, and Orlando was textbook telling me what the notes said, how swollen it is and how it will, and how the swelling goes down. And so he goes, Mum, there's little pops. So as the pressure was releasing, he goes, I've got little pops happening. It was just so incredible to watch this child come back from not to the point, an active, busy kid normally, the point where he just couldn't move and was just in so much pain. Getting him into the car to even go to the doctor was painful, any movement. So this was Friday. We're up to Silica on Saturday after the dosing with Hepasulf. Sunday, he was himself again completely. And I kept the things in the fridge for another couple of weeks. Didn't see hide nor hair of it. Was completely gone, the ear infection. So again, my husband and I are watching that. We know now, we're learning, we've seen so much by this stage, but it's just amazing to me.
It's still amazing every time. And I love that you said you went to the doctor and you got the steroids and you got the antibiotics. So that's great. That's you doing your due diligence. You're covering all those bases and it's there to fall back on. But if you don't need to, then,
I don't want to suppress it and have it come somewhere else. Yeah,
and once you understand that, you can never have a quick fix and not pay a price for it in the long run. You realize that it's worth putting in the work to really get to the root of it. And otherwise, you're going to pay for it at some stage. Maybe not right now. It's going to be down the track for sure.
Yeah. And to realize that our symptoms aren't our enemy. We don't need to squash them. We need to work with them and look at what the message is that they're sending us so that we can be at our best and feel good. I'm not scared of symptoms anymore.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's beautiful that you've said that because, looking at symptoms as your friend, or it's just the body's way of speaking to us. It doesn't have a physical language. It doesn't have just a language that we speak. It has to use symptoms to tell us that things are out of alignment. I love that you're saying that instead of being scared of it, just asking, what is it? Where is it coming from? How can I support the body? So it doesn't need to give me these symptoms to tell me it's out of alignment.
Yeah. For sure. Should I tell you more about Orlando?
Yes, please go for it.
So the other thing with our gorgeous Orlando is that was quite ADHD. And I was regularly, and he's our youngest, and there's quite a gap between him and our daughter, like 11 years. And I was like, wow, saving the most full-on one for last, but that's okay. I love it. He's the most beautiful child. And I just couldn't understand that he could be so naughty at school once we started school. And I'm like, what is going on? But one day, so they were like talking to me about his concentration and his communication. So he had trouble communicating with kids his age and teachers. So he would use his hands, and we had to stop that. We had to find out what was going on. And I just really felt like inside Orlando, and like he wasn't reading, he wasn't even riding his scooter, able to ride he could do his little boy one, but not his 8-year-old scooter, which has required more skill. And it's just because his mind was so busy, I think. And I just remember he's quite a musical kid, and maybe that will help him channel this. I took him to this beautiful man who's very patient, thank goodness, with kids. And we realised very quickly Orlando can only do 15-minute sessions. And I stayed, once I left one time, and then I came back and I thought, oh, this man is so patient, because my child was going for, he had a piano in one room, drums in the other, and a guitar. And Orlando could not focus. He was just darting between them. The whole time I was gone, there was no lessons happening, unfortunately. But it really was a wake-up call for me that, oh, my little man, I need to look at this properly. And there's a smart kid in there, and it just needs to be channeled. He was also very allergic to things. So he was very reactive. He would scar easily. He would react to mozzie bite full on. So all of those things I saw. Anyway, our wonderful homeopath Donna, we had a consult for him, and within a month, I'm not even kidding, within a month his teacher rang me and said, Rach, what are you doing with Orlando? What's happening? And I got a little bit protective, defensive. Yeah. And so I asked her a couple of questions I can't remember. Anyway, she said, I just want to say, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Oh. It's amazing. She was emotional. I was emotional. And we haven't looked back. That was a month into it. So it was around August last year. It's only just gone 12 months that this child's been on homeopathy. I was using it, obviously, for bits and pieces anyway. Yeah. But on a constitutional, that's why I'm always, so many groups I'm in, and I'll always like, see a homeopath. Don't try and do it yourself. They have the eyes to see, they have the experience. You guys have so much knowledge in there, and you can look at our child and you just see we're a little biased anyway. We're not going to really
sometimes too close to it. Hey, like even homeopaths will go see other homeopaths and take their kids to other homeopaths, because as mums, we're just too close to it sometimes. Yeah. For acute, it's fine, like ear infection. Okay, that's it. But mental, emotional, deeper things, it's really tricky to treat your own children and yourself.
Yeah, it's been just, we've watched, he doesn't react so much to bites. He was really a keloid scar kid. He had a massive scar on his left arm, and it's almost completely gone. It was high. It was getting bigger. It wasn't getting smaller. It was, I wish, had I known this was going to happen.
Ask, have you done before and after photos?
I wish I had. But the other day he did get bitten by a flying ant. And it's like, we had to pull over the car. We had a little couple of days away. And he'd take pictures, Mum.
Oh,
so
sweet.
Before and after Leadham. So it was amazing. Just a little Leadham 6. We did try apes that didn't work for him. He goes, I want that one, Leadham. And he knew intuitively, and that completely calmed it. And it was phenomenal. Again, just another day in the life of using homeopathy.
That is so cool. And now I just want to mention to the listeners that you actually have an incredible Whole Foods cafe called Heart and Soul, and it's there in Clarence Valley, in New South Wales.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that? And I'm sure you've probably got some stories of using homeopathy there as well in the kitchen. I can only imagine there's a few accidents there. Tell us a little bit about your cafe and how you've used homeopathy there.
I'm in business, my husband and I, and our friends Evan Shell, who are actually from WA.
Oh, okay.
And us girls, we work on the floor of the cafes. Our husbands are behind the scenes. And Shell's really embraced homeopathy as well. And so have a lot of our staff and even some of our customers. And let me see. Okay, one of the girls the other day had a blood nose, and just a quick dose of phosphorus and it stopped immediately.
Wow.
And one of the girls that worked for us, she's actually was an intensive care specialist nurse who had to walk away, unfortunately. But she was working, this is a couple of months ago, and this wasn't an accident that happened at work, but she was gardening and a rose thorn had gone into her hand and it was red and it had started to trap. And I listened to one of your podcasts and I forget who it was. They were talking about calendula. And it's in the first aid kit and calendula 200. And I just said, would you like to try some homeopathy for it? She said, yeah, sure, because she's really quite natural. But she took a dose and she wasn't in the next day and then she was back. And she said, Rach, that had really helped, but it's tracking again. So I hadn't seen her and I'm like, oh, would you like to try again? Because she said, yeah, I'm actually going to have to go to the doctor because the red streak was going up her arm. It went that day. It was so good. Just another dose of calendula and it cleaned it up altogether. Yeah, and then there's just all our staff. We've got a beautiful local homeopath who I've become friends with. I just think homeopaths best people. And her name's Aisha Beckman. And she uses the sensation method. So I just find her fascinating to listen to as well. And quite a few of our staff are seeing her, which is great. I've got a customer who I ran into her outside of work and I said, how are you going? And she's, oh, Rachel, I'm not doing really good ever since I had COVID. Long COVID, etc. I said at this stage she was feeling pretty desperate. I said, would you like to try something? So I recommended homeopathy 24/7 because she needed an appointment quickly. And so I always send them your podcast and Sue Mayer just podcasts I think they'll relate to.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she came into the cafe the other day, she said, you changed my life. Thank you so much. That makes me get emotional. And it's not me. It's that she's empowered. And I said, yeah, what was it? A day of bryonia? She goes, I said 2 days. She goes, Rach, a day of those little magic pills turned me around. And she just had her constitutional appointment with I can't pronounce this homeopath's name, but she's in Canada and a medical doctor as well as homeopath. And she was amazing for her. And she said, I can't wait to have her son. She's got his appointment booked. She's just so good. There's many of those little stories that are big stories, really.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I think you mentioned something about stabbing yourself under the thumbnail as well.
Yeah, this was at home. We had friends coming for dinner and I was because I'm out the front at the cafe and my business partner, Shell, manages all the beautiful food and our stuff, the back of house and I'm front. But at home, we had some friends coming for dinner and I stabbed my thumb under my nail and it was obviously up under that, a little bit deep. It was a bit sore, but I kept going. And then through the middle of the night, I woke up with it throbbing and it was a little bit puffy and swollen, but it was really throbbing. And I thought, okay, I got my first aid kit. You need just act now. Let's do it. It was 2 a.m. or something. And it was hypericum when I chose, being anti-tetanus as well as your fingers. And went back to sleep and was fine. Woke up in the morning and I just took one more dose. It was still a tiny bit sensitive, but the redness was gone and the swelling was gone and the throbbing had stopped.
Incredible.
And done. It was just,
And how have you, because this has all been like an incredible journey for you, and now you are studying homeopathy. Have you started your first paper now?
I haven't. I wanted to I had a goal of being registered.
Yeah. Oh, good. No, that's good, because with running a business and having still a young one to look after, that's pretty full on. Just chip away at it. You'll get there in no time. Yeah.
I rang them up, Switched on Health, just beautiful, and spoke to a gorgeous lady there. I think it was Carol. And she was like, Rach, if you just start with the one, which I did, Intro to Homeopathy, and then you've got it. And I'm like, thank you. I wanted to make sure that I was allowed to do that. And
of course. Just
really
chip
good.
away at it. You'll get there for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, what do you think was the secret to your success of becoming such an incredible home prescriber? What sort of things have helped you? So if somebody's listening to this podcast, they're new to homeopathy and they're wondering how on earth can they get as amazing at home prescribing as you, what sort of things that have helped you?
Definitely. I'm always listening to podcasts. I listen to your podcast. I've learned so much from the different beautiful, whoever you've had speak, whether it's been a home prescriber like myself that I know a few weeks ago, or all these incredible homeopaths you bring on. I just always learn something. And I find it really easy because I do consider I'm probably a fairly busy person. We do have 2 grandkids as well that we adore. And so there's always something happening in our life. But I find that when I'm cooking dinner, I can have a podcast going, even with everything happening. When I'm in my car, it just comes on automatically. But I'm really passionate. I've learned so much from you. I've learned so much from Sue Mayer.
I love her. She's amazing.
She has a way. So it might be one topic that you think, I don't need to know about sunburn, say. I'm not sunburned. But there's always other things you'll pick up. She just covers so many bases. And I learned about a beautiful remedy called sanguinaria for right-sided migraines.
Made from bloodroot.
Right, yeah. I heard that from her. I had a really bad right-sided migraine one day. I took a dose and it went within 10 minutes. I think that was the first time I actually went, wow, one of the first times. Oh, wow, I learned something and it worked. I worked that out. And just listening to these podcasts all the time. Amy Lansky, her book, The Impossible Cure, I listened to it on audio. That was just incredible.
It's incredible. She was my very first guest on my podcast, and we after that bought 100 copies of her book, and they sold like hotcakes. And anybody who's new to homeopathy or interested in homeopathy, that is the book to start with. It was our first year textbook, one of our first year textbooks.
Yeah.
Absolutely the place to start. It covers so much in one book, and then of course intertwined with the beautiful story of his son who was recovered from autism with homeopathy. So beautiful book. Impossible Cure, Amy Lansky. Go get it.
Yeah, that was major as well. Just all the stories and to think she was a NASA scientist and the way that, just incredible, just so inspiring and all backed up by the facts that happen. It happens when you use homeopathy. You see it, you witness it. It's just incredible. And so and I've got every book I can get, and I'm always looking at different remedies, and I've got the Homeopathy 24/7. You had Mary A. I'm in the Mary Ainsworth study group. You had her on a couple of weeks ago, and I got I got her app now as well. I think you had the Homeopathy
Meta Mitchell.
Yeah, I grabbed her app. I've got a Kent one on there, and I just will flip between my Sue Mayer book and everything when I'm looking at what remedy. I guess I find it the hardest for myself to prescribe, and I think we need to empower all our friends.
Yes,
and
bounce ideas off them and say, "Hey, I've got this and this. What do you reckon?" Absolutely, absolutely.
So I've had a couple of, and I plan on having a first aid night at my house. We had 2 video showings. We did just one drop here because I saw that was incredible. Then I saw Magic Pills by Ananda. And showed that. I had some friends over for that, and that's growing all the time. There's young mums I meet that I just think if they got ears to hear, I'll just put it out there, and if they choose to research further or come along, then that's awesome.
Yeah, all you can do is plant those seeds, and if the soil is ready, it will germinate. So keep planting those seeds. So Rachael, have you got a final message you want to leave our listeners with? And also, can you quickly tell them how they can get hold of your Whole Food Cafe if they want to come and visit you?
Oh, sure. We are situated in Grafton in the Clarence Valley in New South Wales. We've got an Instagram. We're more active on our Instagram. We have got a Facebook as well, but it's just Heart and Soul Whole Food Cafe, Grafton, and hopefully that inspires you for yummy food and things as well. And yes, what else?
Have you got a final message? Just a final message you want to leave our listeners with?
Final message is, homeopathy, I think, is the best thing that can happen to anybody, and something is better than nothing. And just if you're thinking, gee, that I don't have even time for podcasts, just to learn something, be part of a group, connect with other mums. It will change your life if you are ready. And there's paracetamol or there's sepia or something that's not suppressive. Yeah. If that's what you want to know more about, be a part of the groups, listen to podcasts, and you will change your life. Life can be good. And I really believe homeopathy just takes it to a whole new level. You don't have to suffer your migraines. You don't have to watch your little boy be excluded from things because of things that you think are out of your control. Just do what you can. Something's better than nothing to work towards the life that you just want to live. And I just believe homeopathy is incredible and empowering the whole person.
I love that. It's so good. We need that as a slogan. Thank you so much for today, Rachael. It was really fun hanging out with you. And you've been in my Facebook group for a little while now. We've had emails back and forth. And so it's been actually really cool to just get to hang out with you a little bit today. Thank you so much for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
And yeah, I really hope I get to make it to your cafe one day. It just
that'd be amazing. I would love to have you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Eugenie.
Pleasure. Have a great day.
See you too. Thank you. Bye.